Yes, friends, Chelsea still very interested in Ivan Toney. Troy Deeney saying he should join Chelsea. Loads of articles, publications speaking about the England striker potentially coming down to Stamford Bridge. We're going to discuss that a little bit in today's video, as well as what Fernandes and Caicedo have been saying. The vibes are good, guys, despite the ultimate frustration amongst Chelsea fans, understandably, and the confusion between non-Chelsea fans / enjoyment of Chelsea's underperformance so far this season. The players believe. I've said this before, like there's some kind of like mega pitch that these young lads are getting. Who knows, someone within the Chelsea Football Club is making Churchillian level speeches and everyone is bought in. Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez have spoken about this as well. I want to dip into that a little bit. I'll thank you for joining me here on the channel. You're welcome to join the community simply by subscribing, and if you do, hit the bell notifications icon so you are always notified when I upload. And you know what? Thank you for dropping a like. Ding! Alright, before we speak about Toney, it's a massive talking point. Look, loads of people would be like Osimhen, or maybe I've been speaking a little bit of late of Lautaro Martinez, how he's perhaps not being, recognised fairly as possibly the maybe the third best striker in Europe, because of course you have to look at Erling Haaland, who looks a little bit off the boil of late, actually. Harry Kane is understandably and unsurprisingly doing a madness out in Germany. But probably Lautaro afterwards. I think Lautaro has been, these last 2 years, he's been quietly insane, like really good. Anyway, Ivan Toney, proven Premier League product asset. So we'll speak about him in a moment. But let's start off with what Enzo and what Moises have been saying. Now, this goes with what I've joked about before, being this like ultimate PowerPoint presentation about the project, the process. You see it on their social medias, trust the process and all this kind of stuff. They do genuinely believe and they've bought in. Bearing in mind, everyone wanted Enzo Fernandez, like all the Galactico clubs, and and this was before. They were watching him when he was putting in these amazing performances in the Champions League before the World Cup, and obviously he went on to win the World Cup with Argentina, and then big Caboli decided to be like, all right, then 105 million pounds, and all the rest went and walked away. Of course, Real Madrid ending up spending 85 on Jude Bellingham instead. But yeah, a lot of people wanted him. But so he could be thinking, wow, I should be, Bernabeu Galactico by now, or, held out for a Guardiola interest. You know what I mean? But no, he's happy. And bearing in mind as well, he's not on like crazy money. I think Caicedo's on slightly more money than Enzo. Probably that's down to the profile of player and that being in need more. Liverpool, like I said, had a deal agreed for Caicedo for £111 million, just £4 million less than we ended up paying for him. So clearly there was massive desire for Caicedo, hence the wages being big. So both Caicedo and Enzo were interviewed by Sky Sports on the Sky Sports big interview, and they spoke about Chelsea and they're big believers in the Chelsea project. Now you could be cynical, well, they're Chelsea's employers, but yeah, Chelsea are going to pay their wages now for the next friggin' 9 years, whatever it is, regardless, they're under contract. But it's not just them, everyone seems to believe. Anyway, I want to read this quote. I think we are going to be one of the best teams in the Premier League. This is Enzo Fernandez in the interview. I don't know when, maybe not now, but I think that through hard work, we will do it. We will achieve it. They do believe in what's happening. Caicedo echoed his teammates' comments and he says this: I agree 100%. As Enzo said, it will take time and those who don't believe in us will end up doing so. Yeah, my haters will become fans. Yeah, I like that. Just sort of dropping out in the end, like, those who don't know will know. Those who don't love me will love me. Those who don't believe will believe. Love it. It's, to be honest, I wanted to speak about it because they're obviously both native, Spanish speakers, probably quite close, playing in midfield together. Chelsea's two most expensive signings of all time. £220 million sterling worth of assets in those two young men talking there. And it's good that they're like, assertively, they could be like, well, we'll work hard, we'll see, see what we get to. But there is this recurring theme of like belief. Enzo joined Chelsea. Where did we finish? 10th, 11th, 12th? We're currently residing in a similar position, but they believe they've been bought in by whatever again, I say crazy, but like really convincing sales pitch of like, guys, Chelsea have done well, but we're gonna go for a tough patch to make it so we can do even better. We're gonna invest in this young team that's gonna grow into what we believe will be like an amazing team. We've already spoken about these headlines from, was it The Athletic that said about, I think it was The Athletic, talking about between Todd Bowley and Budad Iqbali have been discussing, or they've been obsessed about what a 100-point team looks like. Because they believe like to win the Prem, to challenge for the Prem and win it every season, you got to be that 100-point team. Make no bones about it, when you buy Chelsea Football Club, especially 2 years ago, you're buying a potential title winner. And if you want to be more hands-on than the previous owner and be more, you feel like, offer an evolution that's not been taken advantage of, that's dormant and has been waiting to happen, which I do subscribe to in many ways. I believe Chelsea weren't optimising how we were run, and I think that's hurt us a little bit. Just going to make the camera level there. That they can do it. Look, so the project, there's clearly someone sat down with all these young players and been like, boys, I think the agents as well have been like, yeah, look, go to Chelsea, because what they're doing, it's not just Man United that are just like, oh God, buy Casemiro, oh Jesus, Mason Mount, he's a good player, chuck him in, what's happening? It's like, no, we've got a plan. We've got a friggin' 10-year plan, or 8-year plan, Project 2030, that's going to look after your careers and grow around you. Manchester United aren't doing that. Manchester United pay a friggin' load of ton of money, but if you want to be in a project that, the Chelsea salespeople, as in like the people who are pitching it to the players, and indeed the agents believe, it does make more sense. So it I do like to sort of think about that in these dark, turbulent times, because, it makes sense. It makes a sense. Let's talk about Ivan Toney then. So, interestingly, Troy Deeney was writing for The Sun. Ivan Toney has two options if he leaves in January, Chelsea or Arsenal. He says, my advice to him would be to join a project where you fit like a glove. And that would be Chelsea. Yes, Troy! I always liked Troy Deeney. Apart from when he was giving it the fingers to Stamford Bridge. But he's good fun, isn't he? Look, we'll speak about Toney a little bit more in just a second on this article from Give Me Sport. Does he fit in Chelsea more? I think he does. I think maybe Troy's a striker. He's been a Premier League striker. He's scored a bunch of goals. He was a good player, Troy Deeney. I mean, I had him in my fantasy football at times over years. So he's a useful asset and the top level of football in the Premier League. So yeah, trust his opinion. But like, I guess Chelsea are a bit more transitional than Arsenal. Maybe that we can just do with a focal point more than Arsenal. And Arsenal, they had Gabriel Jesus playing in the middle when they were really good last season. He's not like he's not like an Ivan Toney striker, is he? We can talk about him going to Chelsea in detail a little bit more in just a second. But let's read this article from Give Me Sport by Dean Jones. Chelsea lead Arsenal in Ivan Toney race with double deal possible. First off, before I read this, Ivan Toney, great striker, I'd love him at Chelsea. He's not the most alluring character. I think probably because he said the expletive Brentford. He's also another video when he's filling up gas and someone asks who he plays for and he's just just some little team. Basically, he's basically been disrespectful to Brentford before. Maybe he feels like he belongs at Chelsea or an Arsenal, which is obviously different. But I don't like how he went on the Diary of a CEO podcast and he spoke about how I think he's a Liverpool fan. He loves watching Arsenal. All this kind of stuff. And basically, doesn't make you think he's going to come and play for Chelsea, is he? But then again, the game's the game. Nicholas Jackson fired another blank in the midweek, and the evidence is all stacked up to prove Chelsea need to spend more money in the transfer market. Jesus, that's our biggest problem, isn't it? We don't spend money. In the past week, most speculation has been centered around them signing a centre-back, which of course is peculiar, but again, if Chalobah goes, if Silva goes, I kind of get it in that case. But we should be in no doubt that the main priority to sort out is the goal-scoring problem, like it has been for seemingly ever. Raheem Sterling is their top Premier League scorer with 3 goals to his name. Summer signing Jackson has scored 2, along with Mudryk and Cole Palmer. In total, Chelsea have hit 13 goals, as per BBC Sport, and have failed to find the net in 4 of their 10 top-flight matches. That is depressing. On the back of a year that saw them spend over £1 billion, you'd expect slightly more. And we averaged a goal a game last season. I think we scored 38 goals in 38 games. Didn't under Ancelotti we score over 100 goals or something? I don't know. Yes, Chelsea do also have their eye on the back line, but do want to find the right candidate in the defensive structure. Sources around the club adamant that desire has not impacted their need for more of a goal threat. Chelsea need an experienced, proven, top-level striker if they're going to become competitive as quickly as they want to. And we are fast approaching a time where they fully define who the best candidate will be. Ooh la la. So Pochettino has had doubts since the summer. Mauricio Pochettino has had reservations about their goal profligacy, hard to say that, dating back to pre-season after Jackson was brought to the club. Sources indicated to me, Dean Jones says, that Pochettino had a gut feeling the side would still need another premium number 9. Didn't help how also he was playing Nkunku down the middle as a number 9 and he got injured. Those instincts have proved to be true, and the billionaire boys, we are the billionaire boys, aren't we? The blue billionaire boys, and it sounds derogatory more than anything else, are now going to be shelling out more cash in the new year in an attempt to find goal power. Goal power! If we go back that summer window, there are a few options that were considered, and 3 of them play in Italy. Dusan Vlahovic, who I think has sort of been accepted back as a Juve player now, especially now they didn't get Lukaku. Of course, Osimhen, and Lautaro Martinez. My favourite, though, personally, I don't think Lautaro would necessarily work in the Prem. You know. But on top of that, Chelsea's, Brentford's Ivan Toney, and there's a small chance they consider Tammy Abraham of Roma. Yeah, I don't think we should get Tammy back. I don't think it's... we've done a story about how Roma would consider a straight swap for Lukaku and Tammy, which Tammy Abraham's got a buyout clause of 72 million. Lukaku's got one for 37, but their ages and, wages and stuff. Chelsea managed to see off Blackburn Rovers in the Carabao Cup midweek. Sterling and a Benoit Badiashile goal found the net, but Jackson looks like a man short of confidence. I would change short of confidence to devoid of confidence and form, and that does not bode well for their next outing. Of course, we play Tottenham on tomorrow evening. And Tottenham score loads of goals. Spurs have scored 22 goals this season. Must be nice. It doesn't even feel like they're like one of the top goal scorers. They have not failed to score in any of their matches. Oh, must be nice. It really does feel like the game that underlines why Chelsea exactly need to spend big again themselves unless Jackson can finally turn up. I don't think it's fair to just expect, whether it's fair or not is beside the point, but I don't think Jackson will just turn up because I think it's a pressure thing now. And while it is just him, I think it's too much. Pochettino backed him this week. He talked about him suffering an injury that needed special care. There's been moments in his general play that are sharp and that he may be better once Nkunku's back, who obviously he did well to link up with in pre-season. But I don't know, man. He does look sharp. The thing is, he can look great, Jackson, but if he doesn't have the mentality, then it all means nothing. Genuinely means nothing. And of course he's gonna go to AFCON as well to play for Senegal. That tournament, the Napoli, of course, Osimhen will be playing as well. God, that is tough. And apparently, the fee for Osimhen is still massive. There's also stuff here about Chelsea struggling to keep Reece James, but I shan't entertain that story. I just shan't. Ivan Toney. Well, he's good at penalties, but we've got Cole Palmer now, and I don't want to take Cole off penalties. He's such a nice boy having a good time, and we've got a young talent like that. You want him to keep his, confidence high by scoring goals, and if they're penalties, fine. But then again, I don't know, if Toney comes in, I guess you give it to him. Ivan Toney, he is confident. I feel like if he's banged goals for Brentford, I feel like he'll score for Chelsea. I don't know. I feel like, for some reason, in my heart, I feel like, and this shouldn't make sense, but for some reason it's my gut feeling, I feel like Toney coming from Brentford to Chelsea will work better than Torres coming from Liverpool to Chelsea. Now, I know there's all this stuff about Torres that apparently, people at Liverpool knew he was sort of like not on his way out, but they had problems, and they feel like the fact that they got 50 million quid for him to go to Chelsea was like a great scalp or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe Toney could work. What do you think, though? Let me know down below. Of course, Ivan Toney isn't as a sexy name as Osimhen, but Osimhen, again, it's a different league. It's a silly-ass striker. Like, we bought Morata after him scoring a few goals at Juventus when he's on loan from Madrid. Didn't work. We bought Romelu Lukaku. Enough said, Let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me. Comment down below. You're welcome to subscribe. If you choose to do so, hit the bell. And hopefully I'll see you guys back here very soon. Alright, peace.